Hello everyone, my name is Yasser Al-Mashad. I work as a security specialist for F5. In today's session, we will do a demo for bot traffic and the bad automation, and then we will talk about how a F5 integrated bot defense solution can help to mitigate this threat. So the demo is divided in four different sections. We're first going to start by testing some of the basic standard bot attacks against our application to understand the threat and the vulnerability. Next, we will deploy one of the most popular bot mitigation tools today, CAPTCHA. And after that, we will attempt to launch some advanced bot attacks and bypass the simple CAPTCHA mitigation. And finally, we will deploy the F5 integrated bot defense in front of our application and see if that can able to mitigate those advanced bot attacks. So with that, let's get started. So first, I would like to publish my test application, and I'm going to use automation to do that. Now, I know that I mentioned automation are bad, but not all automations are bad. There is also good automation, and we're going to utilize the good automation to build our application. So first, log into Big IP. Right. So today there is no application published on Big IP. I'm going to use Ansible playbook to create my application. So Ansible basically will create the pool members, it will create the virtual server, it will start my hackathon test application containers in the backend, all in short time to be ready for the test. Once that is done, you can verify that, and then we can test this application. All right, so the application work. It's a very simple application. Let me try to log in as a human. And once I log in, it takes me to the account page. All right, next, let's try to simulate some of the basic simple bot attacks. So let's try to automate that login that I did as a human, but using bot tools and the command and from the CLI. So the first one I will try to do is using curl. All right. So basically, first I will use curl against the same application, and I will try to log in using the same credentials. And as you see, curl command works successfully. It showed the 302 for forwarding to my account page. So it worked fine. Next, let's try some more sophisticated tools that attackers might use to do credential stuffing and the brute force. And for that, I will be using Hydra. So Hydra is a tool that can launch credential stuffing attacks. In this case, I'm asking Hydra to read the test credentials from this compo text file, which have a combinations of username and passwords against my applications, etc. And as you see, Hydra was able to successfully find a couple of usernames in my applications. And this is just to show you that automations are easy to launch, and the attackers use automations all the time, either through command line tools or scripts to try to do different things against the websites, like credential stuffing, brute force, scraping, etc. All right, now let's try next section of our demo to attempt to mitigate these standard basic bot attacks using the CAPTCHA. So with that, let me launch my CAPTCHA application. All right, once my CAPTCHA application is launched, then let's test it. It's launched already. So So let's test my CAPTCHA application. Let's give it a second until the container is running. All good. Yes. So this CAPTCHA application is the same copy of the previous application, except it have CAPTCHA now. So if the user attempt to log in without solving the CAPTCHA, it will be blocked by this CAPTCHA, right? So I have to solve the CAPTCHA in order to pass the login page. And once I solve the CAPTCHA, then I will allow to log in. Now CAPTCHA is good because it helps us to mitigate some of those standard basic bots. In fact, let's test that. Let's replicate the same bot attacks that we did previously. First one is the curl. Sorry, now we need to launch the curl against the CAPTCHA protected application. And as you see, it doesn't show the previous response. It just returns again this HTML page, which probably have you are blocked and you have to log in again. So I was not able to log in. And now let me try Hydra. Again, this is the CAPTCHA enabled application. And that also showed basically timeout and fail, because it will not be able to attempt to try any of these credentials. It will just fail because it cannot solve the CAPTCHA. All right. Now let's go to the third section of this demo, that is to launch an advanced bot attacks and attempt to bypass the CAPTCHA. And for that, I'm going to use the Python IDE. So this is a Python script that basically will attempt to launch Selenium web browser, and it will use two CAPTCHA service to solve the CAPTCHA. So this is an advanced bot attacks. It's still bot, it's still a script, but it's a script that will simulate a real human using a real browser solving a real CAPTCHA. So let's test that. So I will launch the script, and as you see, the script will launch a browser based on Chrome. And let me drag this a little bit there so it's clear to you. And now let me launch the script. So I'm launching this script. Basically, the script will run, execute the instruction. You can see on the left screen that it's automatically filling the username and passwords. You guys have to trust me that I'm not filling any of this information. It's all done by the script, and then it will try to solve the CAPTCHA. And you can see it was able to solve the CAPTCHA successfully, and then it was able to log into the application. All right, so this is a quick test just to prove that CAPTCHA can also be bypassed using automations, and the attackers will use maybe more sophisticated scripts than this to bypass CAPTCHA and do credential stuffing. All right, so now after we prove CAPTCHA mitigation can be defeated and it can be bypassed, let's deploy the F5 integrated bot defense and see if F5 integrated bot defense will be able to identify and catch this attack. Now, to deploy F5 integrated bot defense, we first need to go to the F5 cloud services portal. Now, you can create a new account if you do not have an existing account for free. And if you have an account, you just log in. So I logged into my portal. Make sure that you are subscribed to the integrated bot defense service. Once you do that, you will see this new section on the left. First thing we will need to do is to create an application. So I will choose big IP, next, and give it a name. Let's say IBD is amazing. I think this is a nice name. Next. And it will generate some of these keys and variables, but you can store them somewhere. However, anyway, they will be already included in the iApp that we will download here. So let's download the iApp. To the desktop. And we are done here. Then back to the F5. And now let's protect our CAPTCHA enabled application with the integrated port defense. And the way to do that, we first need to go and import the IApp that we just downloaded. Next, we need to create now or deploy this IApp. So we'll say create, we'll give it a name, and we'll choose the IApp template that we just imported. And now we can go through the configurations. The Java script injection control how the Java script of IBD will be injected in the protected web page. I will leave the default. Shape endpoint configuration is important. We need to define the host that's protected. So it's hackathon-captcha.5demo.com. The endpoint is the login page. I want to protect the post requests. And mitigation action, I will keep it continue for now. So continue means that it's like in transparent mode where I am going to still detect those attacks and report them, but I'm not going to take an actions. It's good for as a beginning of the deployment. And I will keep everything here as the default. I will just increase this timeout to 1000 milliseconds, and I have to choose which virtual server or which application will be protected by the IBD. So I will use the CAPTCHA virtual server, and that's it. All right, so this is now configured. Let me go back to the F5 Cloud Services, and let's filter this application. And now let's start testing. So first, let me try to log in as a human user and see if that is detected by the integrated port defense. So back again to the application. I will go to the CAPTCHA enabled application. And then I will attempt to log in using my test user. I will solve the CAPTCHA as a good human. And if everything is good, should be allowed to log in. And it successfully log in. Now let me go back to my integrated port defense dashboard and see if that was detected. And indeed, it was able to detect this request as a human. So far, so good. Now, next, let's try again the advanced bot attacks using the Selenium that we used to bypass the CAPTCHA. And let's see if that will be detected as malicious bot. So back again to Selenium. And we will launch this attack again. So the script again launched another browser, and it will attempt to run the script. So I will just get it started here. I will monitor the console, and on the left you can see that the script will automatically fill some of these credentials, and it will attempt to solve the CAPTCHA. And it was able to solve the CAPTCHA. Again, now let's go back to the F5 integrated port defense dashboard and see if it was able to detect this as an attack. So refresh that. And indeed, it was able to detect this as an attack through our threat intelligence detection. And with that, this concludes my demo and my session today. Thank you for watching.